And here we are once again. Another glorious activist coping session. And this time, it's not even about Ghost of Yotei, even though they did manage to pull Ghost of Yotei even in this conversation, some magically how, but most of the time it's about Assassin's Creed Shadows, because evil chud that's always wrong, Assassin's Creed Shadows is doing amazingly. It's doing remarkably well, in fact. It is the best that it has ever been. How dare you doubt your black Japanese simulator where you literally blacken the Nobunaga bloodline? I don't know. In any case, there's a lot of coping and seeding here, and it is absolutely hilarious. There are a couple of posts that literally transcend stupidity. Yes, I personally think that it's kind of funny that these people are finding out finance and statistics because they shouldn't. There's a reason they are stuck in McDonald's and are messing up my drive-thru orders like they're asmongold fans. Oh, but, let's just get into it, shall we? Okay. Assassin's Creed Shadows overperformed expectations with positive momentum for it and the franchise's back catalog going forward, says Ubisoft. So, first of all, this is a lie, because Ubisoft doesn't even say that. He just made it up. This is what they said. If you want to pause, you can pause. But this is what they actually said, which is hilarious. Second of all, the publisher's quarterly performance was up 39% year over year with cost reduction programs on track. Cost reduction programs, by the way, is firing people and replacing them with AI. Godspeed, Ubisoft. That's the only thing you have probably done right in a decade, honestly. And the moment I saw this, I was like, 38% year over year? And you're hailing the back catalog and the price reduction processes that you started as really good here? That doesn't bode well. That actually means you have an unreasonable amount of bloat and you're performing poorly. That was my initial thought. But after that, I actually stopped for 5 seconds and thought with my actual brain, and I was like, wait a minute, year over year? Did Ubisoft even release a game last year? Yes. And the answer is no. The answer is no. Ubisoft did not release a single thing that was AAA last year. There's a lot of overlap because, I can't actually get rid of these, but you get the point. Ubisoft has not released anything more noticeable than Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. And Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown is a hilarious one. I want you to pay attention to this. This is why AI is never going to replace us. The budget of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is not officially confirmed, but rumors suggest it is slightly lower than 200 million. I remember first talking about this when I heard it, because they were not happy with their sales. Ubisoft came out initially and said they were not happy with their sales. And I was like, wait a minute, why not? This game probably costs like 50 million to make or something like that. It's a 2D side-scroller. And then we got the news, technically rumors, that it was 200 million, which by the way fits for modern day development costs, considering Concord was literally 200 million. 10 out of 10. And then you read further, possibly around or below 30 million for development and marketing combined, according to Reddit users. According to Reddit users. Well, when you click on this is where it leads you. This page, right? Why isn't it loading? Well, it's gonna load. You see? It leads to this page. And you can pause and read these literal 3 comments or whatever if you feel like it. But I'm just gonna summarize this for you, okay? What is the source of this game being 30 million? It's literally trust me, bro. No, serious. Pause it and read it. This is literally trust me, bro. the AI is using a Redditor's comment that says, well, I actually think it maybe was 50 million to make, not 200. And that's the source. That's now a source, and AI is running with that idea, which is absolutely hilarious. Okay? Again, AI is not replacing anyone who has even a semblance of a brain, boys. Don't worry about it. Also, like the video right now. Press that like button, takes less than a second. If you're a mobile device, hype it up. It helps out the channel, and hopefully you learn something from this. You know, a lot of this is esoteric, but hopefully you understand some of it. And, you know, liking the video does actually tremendously help. YouTube does take into it account, and your like on this video actually does impact it. For every like you make, 2 more people are gonna see this. So thank you everyone who likes this video. And for everyone who thinks this is important and hilarious, definitely like the video right now. It takes less than a second. And thank you for everyone who does. Again, it matters to me and it does make a difference. So thank you. But in any case, I know that this is hilarious. But and then okay, a little bit more about this. Even without the fact that literally Ubisoft released 0 games of impact last year, the fact that they released Assassin's Creed Shadows this year and their back catalog, as they claim themselves, and their reduction programs, and all they got was a 39% year over year, probably just money flow. I'm assuming they always do just money flows because it looks better. So that's not minus taxes, not minus expenses, not minus anything. So with all of that, they only got 39% year over year, which is crazy considering Ubisoft literally themselves, by the way, claimed that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the hottest, fastest, best-selling Assassin's Creed game ever. That it is gonna outshine Valhalla and Odyssey combined. Keep in mind, if those claims are correct, and we do the math just on SteamDB for those 2 games, which I have done multiple times, go check out those videos. That would mean that Assassin's Creed Shadows is gonna sell well over 100 million fucking copies by the end of the year. I kind of think that's not gonna happen, by the way. But that's actually the math if you actually look at the sales and multiply those things, which is very easy. So yeah, that's a lie. Hilarious, by the way. But it doesn't. But it gets worse than that. Ubisoft hasn't exploded or been bought by Tencent. This is the stuff that people were talking about, that it's being bought by Tencent. And I by the way, again, I was right. I flat out just stated, I do not know things about business in this nature. I do not know or understand the full things that go into company buyouts and whatnot when you try to halt stock and shit like that. I said, though, with my experience, which is limited, aka almost non-existent in this situation, still doesn't look like a buyout to me, which seemingly it's not at this point, by the way. And if anyone claims that they know what's happening, that's bullshit, because there's probably less than 1,000 people in the whole world, and even I say 1,000, I think I'm being extremely generous, who actually specialize in that kind of finance. So you're probably not one of them, okay? I'm freely admitting that I do not know how business finance works in these very narrow niches. Okay, so don't try to tell me that you magically do, okay? But in any case, its finances were delayed because of math nerds. By the way, do we know if this is true? No, not really. We still don't know what's happening. AC Shadows is overperforming, and it's got one upcoming game you don't even know about. Thank you. Who cares about the upcoming game? Probably no one. And by the way, I just want to shout out Asmongold. My God, listen, boys. There is this video 3 years ago, but I make fun of Asmongold for not being even to fucking read one single chart and not understanding what the 0 to 100 in Google Trends even represents. 30 minutes of absolutely hilarious times of pointing the fact that this guy can't even read a single goddamn line on a graph and misinterprets literally every single sentence that he says. And this was so bad, by the way, even the Asmongold fanboys didn't dislike it. This has a 20% dislike ratio. Like the video, by the way. And no one's defending him. No one is defending him pretty much even in the comments, which is hilarious. This almost never happens. This is how you know that was beyond poor. But even he understands that if Ubisoft is claiming it's doing so good, why is the graph going so close to the bottom, okay? If stocks could have negative value, Ubisoft would be the first one to get it. It is absolutely hilarious, okay? So 10 out of 10 about that one. Then we have this. Ghost of Yotei. Like, this is technically a super high trending post for the woke audiences, by the way. I shit you not. Okay? Look at I'm losing my mind here, boys. Look at this. This has 30k views, 1k likes. If you haven't paused it to read it, I'm gonna do it for you. Ghost of Yotei quadruples its development cost in 1 month, and these middle-aged men still have to find ways to prey on the negativity algorithm so they can pay their rent. What a miserable title, man. Now, obviously, this is referring to Ghost of Yotei is actually doing really good, blah, 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 blah. I said that Ghost of Yotei is probably the best doing woke game that we have had in history, which is not good, by the way, still. I don't know if I'm going to make another video about this, but if we believe that the budget of Ghost of Yotei was 200, and we do the math for the sales and we use the 3 million or 5 million number, that means that Ghost of Yotei has barely broken even. And I never get to talk about this because no game actually barely breaks even. And the ones that do typically have microtransactions in them, so they make extra money. But if a game breaks even, that means that the company doesn't have enough money to make another game. Yes, they don't actually have the budget to make another game. Their budget is actually non-existent fully. That means that they have to downscale their next project, or they need to hope that they are going to actually make enough money over time. And with the current trend in gaming that all of the sales are literally done pretty much in the first week now, and after the trickle that usually games got now is completely destroyed and demolished and no longer almost exists, that's bad. Because Assassin... Did I actually get my tweet on this? No. But we're gonna wait. Oh, by the way, about this. So, this got 1k likes, and this absolute... You know what this guy wrote, right? Ghost of Yotei quadrupled its development costs in 1 month. What? So, they paid 4 times more 1 month to create the... Like, he doesn't even know what he's saying. I posted that, by the way. What the fuck did you even write? Do you have any idea what any of those of the words you use mean? Quadruple its development cost in 1 month. It got 4 times more expensive to make one in 1 month? What? Like, this whole sentence is supposed to be because Ghost of Yotei suddenly costed 4 times more to make in 1 month for no reason. First time I, by the way, even hear that. It's actually good. Like, there is no fighting this. You can't. It's like, because these people are looking at this and being like, oh shit. That absolutely puts the chuds in place. The true, big, real. This puts the chud... Wait, you don't even know what you wrote. You literally just said Ghost of Yotei was more expensive to make than people thought. And you're like, haha, that proves it's good? Like, what am I supposed to even say to disprove this? It's like, And these people are like, oh, that proves that humanity is lost. We have no future. We have no future. And there's actually more of this. See, I knew it. Dude just couldn't accept the L. Sony have said it is a major hit, but he assumes he knows better than Sony. This is stupid. This is just uneducated, though. What a sad lacking gaming knowledge grifter. So, and I wrote about this. And we had a whole conversation here because I was bored yesterday and slightly today. A company would never lie to post. And then a person writes, because they'd be committing fraud, you stupid fuck. Education is at an all-time low. I respond, no, you stupid fuck, because that's what he called me at the end of the sentence. By the way, this is manipulation tactics. Saying it did good, bad, better than expected, or whatever, has no legal consequences because it doesn't. Saying something did better than they expected, or Sony thinks that it did good enough, has no consequences because it's a nebulous term that means nothing. If Ghost of Yotei literally sold -5 copies, Sony could literally say, well, it did better than expected, and there would be no consequences because these statements hold no power. In fact, when it comes to dealing with companies like this, if they name a sales number and it is false, it may not even be illegal depending on the impact. This also sometimes is true. Now, granted, the last part gets pretty complicated in some situations, but yes, there can be situations where a games company can flat out lie about their numbers and nothing bad happens. In fact, we have actually had situations like this happen in the past, where a company lies and then they get fined by, who was it, the FCC? I don't remember who fines them, but someone got fined. And the fine didn't matter because them lying about the sales actually improved their stock value, so it was worth it at the end. So, there's also situations like that. And then it's just, okay, you're just straight up brain dead. True, real, and based, my dude. Triple Chin has been crashing out about Yotei for weeks ever since he was hurt on his own channel by that Cullen guy, LAMO. This is what I responded. I have no idea what the fuck you are talking about. And then he answers, of course you don't, LAMO. Well, I guess I lost that internet conversation. I guess he got me, boys. I guess he did. How will I ever recover? In any case, this is currently a very prevalent thing that is happening on Twitter with these activists, how they're trying to just take random numbers that they probably don't have even any real clue what they mean, and then they're just trying to glaze them as good because reasons. And, I mean, it's unironically working. When you literally post something like this and get 1K likes, I mean, that definitely shows something. That shows that if I'm a grifter, I'm grifting on the wrong side. In any case, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.